relationship drama. This episode is episode 3 and it is the last one. I feel a little sad. What about you?
I'm a little sad too. It's a little bittersweet and it went fast, but it was very, very helpful and I enjoyed it, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. So we're gonna get right on to your questions, and the first one basically says, how do I get my husband to understand that sometimes I need a little break? I practically have to beg him to help me change our daughter's diaper, etc. How do I get him to see that? And I understand he works, but I need a little time to myself as well. And I totally understand that, because you kind of get caught up in the full-time mom job, and that is a tough job, and sometimes guys don't see that. We've had that happen to us before.
We have, and you know, you're working hard and you want to provide for your family and make everything comfortable, and sometimes you forget your role, and it's just not about working and bringing home the bacon and making sure there's food on the table. You got to help her out with that little toddler, and you got to communicate.
Yeah, and I think also, you know, communication as far as like alone time. Like basically when the baby goes to sleep, you guys should maybe get together and talk about it when it's not all chaotic, the baby's screaming in the background, you're arguing, screaming. You kind of want to just sit down, talk when you're calm, when you're okay, when you're not tense. Because when you're tense or you're stressed, it could lead to a huge argument, and we don't want that. And honestly, from a guy's perspective, babe, why do you think? Because I know there was a time when you did the same. You were kind of leaving me all the load.
I was afraid. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to make a bottle. I didn't know how to change a diaper. So, you know,
that.
When you're bonding as a family and you have a newborn, it's overwhelming. And I don't care what any guy says. I know they're excited, but at the same time, they're a little afraid. So, you know, you got to just stand by your man and just talk him through and show him what you do, and you know, how the baby responds, because you were the one who was actually carrying the baby. We weren't. We were there with you. But there's so many things that we don't know that we're just
And that's true. I think
lost.
We have that instinct, you know, as mothers. I think God gives us that sixth sense that, you know, you're thinking as a mother and not just as a regular human being. Because I know that before I had a baby, I would never think the things I think now as a mother. And I think that is something that you inherit once you become one. And it's very difficult for a guy to understand it fully, because we're just so opposite and different. But I just feel that, you know, even after you have your love session, you're a lot less tense. So maybe talk after that and really have him listen to what you're saying, because guys think totally different than we do. And I know that, you know, they could be a little bit more closed-minded, but definitely you need your alone time. You need to do your nails, paint them, feel good about yourself for at least 15 minutes out of the day. I know I need that with Bubba's, and you need to let him know that. And if he loves you, he'll help you out. Yeah,
break up the monotony. That always does work. You know, when I'm stressed out, Jenny, she knows how to calm me down, and vice versa. So just communicate and, you know, stand by him and ask him what's going on. You know, are you afraid, or what can I do to make it easier for you? Because
that's true.
You know, a lot of times, you know, a guy, he wants to relay how he feels, but at the same time he probably sees what you're going through, and he says, well, let me make sure that she has everything she needs, and you forget.
Yeah, and remember, babe, when we wrote down like the things that I need to work on, and then you wrote down the things that I needed to work on. So we gave each other our notes and we read them, and then we're like, okay, we want to make this work, so let's go ahead and go down the list and maybe choose some of the easier things that he wrote up on that paper and work on them, and the same for him. You know, and that way it seems a little bit different. You're kind of doing a homework, and then you give each other the paper and you have to study it and work on it, and that way you're both happy. And since we've been doing that, there hasn't been as much arguing.
Yeah, but you know what? It didn't work at first because I was closed-minded. So again, men, you have to be open-minded. Don't look at it and say, oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, it's all her. No, forget that, you know.
That's true.
Just really be open-minded about it. Don't like get caught up and be like all macho, like, you know what? I'm not going to do it, and I don't feel that way, and it's not going to work. Open up a little bit. You know, this is your family you're talking about. This is your foundation. This is your rock. So don't be closed-minded and listen to her, and you'll be surprised. It'll help in so many ways.
Alright, so the next question is, hi guys, I loved the video. You hit on some very important points. Thank you.
Thank you.
Especially about jealousy and trust. I've been married for just over a year, and my husband and I tend to fight over the same issue, and not sure what else I can say or do to make him see my point of view. Any general ideas?
Yeah. Jealousy is a tough one, honestly. And you'll notice that jealousy carries outside the house. I've noticed that, you know, even in our relationship, you'll go somewhere and...
But you're not that jealous.
No, but my wife tends to be.
I'm the jealous.
And the thing is, if you know that a girl's gonna walk by, don't put them on the spot. And women tend to do that. You need to have that trust. You have to build that trust where you guys are comfortable, and he's not always thinking, "Oh man, she's gonna explode." But some
guys are dogs too, babe. Like they're just like, they see a girl and you're with them and they're like this.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no respect then.
Yeah.
And so that comes with communication. Maybe he loves you. Maybe he's just used to doing things one way. And then you never know what type of family he came from. Maybe his dad was never around.
And you've been jealous too, babe. And,
I have, but my jealousy came later on.
What we do basically is when I get jealous, I tell him, like, this is why I'm jealous. And then I say, just put yourself in my shoes for a second. And I'm going to respect what you say, even if I don't look at it the same way that you do, because we think different. No matter what topic it is, we're complete opposites. But we have learned to put ourselves in each other's shoes and then try to think, okay, well, I don't see it that way, but if she sees it that way or he sees it that way, I have to respect that, you know? And that's what we did. Remember with that issue?
We did, but the craziest thing is I've never been the jealous type. I've always been kind of cold-hearted. But what's crazy is that once you start opening up, you start to change. And I've changed for the better, but like I said, I'm going to touch on a little point. If your man has come from a situation that wasn't so well-rounded, where there wasn't a mom and a dad around, or a dad to guide that man and just tell him how to be a gentleman, talk to him, figure out what makes him tick, what hurts, what he's afraid to talk about. You have to kind of step into his world.
Break that wall. Yeah. And I stand behind that, because when I didn't do that, I was like, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, it's my way, I'm telling you, I'm trying to convince you to think like I'm thinking. But you spend so much time and energy trying to make the other person think like you think, when sometimes that just doesn't work because we're two different people. So you have to just work on, instead of saying, how do I make him see what I'm seeing, work on, let me understand him for a second and see where he's coming from, and then he has to do the same for you. All right, so we're moving on to the final question, and this is from Liv. She says, hi Jenice and Lee, I am Mexican and my husband is African American, just like the two of you. Did you guys ever get stares or go through times when people are funny acting towards you? Can you both discuss your advice or thoughts on this topic? That's very interesting, because we have gone through that, and don't we love proving people wrong?
Love it. Love it. Kill them with kindness. That is the best. When you kill them with kindness, you're just like, I don't know what to say.
It's just ignorance. And a lot of times I think, babe, from both of our families, we've had that happen in the beginning too, where they were just like, you know, I don't know if this is going to work, because having different cultures, not necessarily different ethnicities, but different cultures is very difficult, because we have different upbringings. We celebrate Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day.
Yes.
We celebrate the Easter Bunny. They really didn't celebrate it. So it's just very different as far as culture-wise. But you also have to keep in mind that there's like different times of different people. Like his grandma was a little judgmental towards me. Some of my family was a little judgmental towards him. So you kind of just have to prove people wrong. If they mean that much to you in your life, like your family, then you have to just show them. And now my family comes and they're like, we're not coming to see you, Jen, we're coming to see Lee. You know, like they love him because they took the opportunity to get to know him. They gave him a shot. And they love him. Like, he's like their son, their cousin, their nephew. You know, my grandma calls him son. You know, that's grandma. He calls her grandma. Oh, yeah. So, you know, it's just like, unfortunately, there'll always be people like that because they were brought up that way, and I don't blame them. I don't blame people because they didn't have a choice. They were just brought up like that. They were just brought up thinking, oh, these people are those people, and those people are those people, and those people are that people.
Yeah, but the only thing you really need to focus on is your families, and you need to make sure that your family respects you and respects her, because this is your life. So you need to make sure that they understand, hey, listen, this is my wife, and we're going to be together, whether you like it or not. So you need to accept her and respect her. And that's where it starts. You're always going to get looks. That's never going to change, because there's ignorant people in the world. But what's important is the love that you build together, the bond you build, you know, and just enjoy life, because life's too short. You know, everybody wants something for you or want you to go this way or go that way, but this is your life, so live your life. And if you love that man and vice versa, don't worry about the looks, because you won't even notice them. I'll go out with my wife, I don't even notice them half the time. People are looking at me and I could care less because I love my wife.
Babe, remember when I would drop you off at work, and every time before I dropped you off at work, I would kiss you and hug you and I'd give you all this love, and then it was every day, right? Every day I'd give him a blessing, I'd give him hugs and kisses. And one day this guy comes over and he's like, hey, how are you? My name is so-and-so. You know, I want you to know that ever since I've seen you guys, you know, pick up each other and drop you off and your wife and everything, I've been giving my wife hugs and kisses every day before she goes to work because I started seeing you guys and it rubs off on us.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you can make a difference without you even knowing it,
That's
you
right.
know? So just try to take it for what it is. Nothing. Just keep on moving, be positive, be happy. Don't let nothing stop your happiness because life is too short.
Exactly.
Tomorrow's promised to nobody. And I really hope that you all enjoyed this episode. I know that I did. Those were some great questions.
They were. They were.
So,
and hopefully we'll do it again.
I know. If you guys want to see more episodes like these, and I know I keep telling you, let me know down below in the comments through a comment or through liking the video so that we know if you want to keep these going. Otherwise, we'll move on to another kind of series. If you have suggestions, leave them down below as well. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch our videos, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting. We love you so much. You're a part of our family. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Peace. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. God bless.